I think they didn't hear me. God, what kind of Christ? I can just let me know on YouTube, like if it's up and everything. Okay. Let me just put this up a little bit. Most High in Christ. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Qadash. To the brothers, Yahweh Shalom, to the sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Out here in Durham, North Carolina, priest officer 50,001 holding it down for the Friday night language class, the Lashawan Qadash class. So it's like a clap it up. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up, you know what I'm saying? Because unlike a Christian pastor, we still out here putting in this work.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing stopping the show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep doing what we've been doing. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to continue. We're getting this, and this is the perfect time too. Like I said last week, it's the perfect time for us to get right back into our culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As you can see, the oppressor's culture is crumbling before our very eyes. His money is meaning less and less. You know what I'm saying? His businesses are closing, and you know what I mean? All kind of stuff happening to him. He don't know what to do with himself.
Right.
And it's only going to get worse. You know what I'm saying? So now's the time for you to get up out of that. I mean, now you can't even go there. So now if you want to get your nails done, guess what? You got to go to that sister. You want to go get your nails done, you got to go to that sister. You got to go to her house.
That's right.
Because if that nail salon ain't open. You got to go to her house and get the nails trimmed up and cuticles cut and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to get your, you know what I'm saying? You want to get the hair braided? You better find that sister, man. You better go, instead of going to them damn Africans, you better find that sister that live on the 5th floor or something.
Right.
Go up in there and get your hair braided. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to start to rely on one another. Right?
That's right.
But in order for us to be protected from the plagues and everything that are going to sweep through this place, you know what I'm saying? We have to get back in line with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We can't do it on our own. We got to make sure that we're doing it according to His will, right? And one of those things is understanding who we are according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? The Isupk and the Commander General Yohana, we teach the truth according to the Bible.
Right.
That blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are the true Jews the Bible speaks of, right? And so this is our culture. This language, the Hebrew language, is our culture.
That's right.
You understand? So you got the, give me Zephaniah 2 and 1. You already know. Got to start there.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together.
Right.
O nation, not desire.
I'm reading the scripture so much. Why? Because it's high time to wake up out of sleep, man. It's high time for us to stop going and dealing with these other nations and trying to find solace in them. The other scripture says what? That we look for our vain help for a nation that could not. You understand? They're not going to save us. Only the Most High can save us. Because He only cares about our people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. And the scripture, Zephaniah 2 and 1, just said what? Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. It's obvious that we're not desired here.
Right.
It's obvious that they hate us here. All of look at what's going on. My brothers then brought it out. Now, all of a sudden, because they're a little bit nervous and they're a little bit afraid about their health and things like that, now all of a sudden the president wants to give out $1,000 checks. I mean, damn, I seen a few brothers and sisters on drugs. I seen about 300,000 abortions happening that black women have been going to the abortion clinic for every year.
Right.
I've been seeing black men, the most incarcerated group, representative group in the prison system, even though we only represent, if you just take black men, I mean, less than 10% of the population.
6%.
Yeah, but yet we represent what? Over 20% of the prison population? Close to 25%. Like 1 in every 4 prisoners is a black man. You understand? I mean, damn. Last I checked, there was little Mexican little Isupk babies in cages at the border.
That's right.
And wasn't nobody saying nothing about sending $1,000 checks then.
Right.
Wasn't nobody saying nothing about cutting this tax and cutting this thing and this loan forgiveness. But now because they're suffering, now all of a sudden they want to do this. That's proof positive that they hate you, black man.
That's
Hispanic man, Native Indian man.
Right.
And Native Indians been living on reservations for 100 years. 100. I mean, the Trail of Tears, Andrew Jackson, that was what? That was the 1800s.
Yeah. 1830.
Yes, 1830 something. So over 150 years on reservations. You understand? Not one thing about a check or none of that. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Salaki. Shalom, since how Shalom, thought about Shalom Shah. So yeah. So read it from the top one more time.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation.
Oh what?
O nation.
No, old block.
O nation.
Old projects.
O nation.
Old nation.
Not
We are a nation of people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians represent the nation of Israel. God's chosen people. We are one race of people. We're one nation. And we're getting back, man. We're going through that's what this school is for. That's what this class is for. We're going through the histories, man. Every single day we're teaching the history of our people that you don't learn in your college campus.
right.
That you don't learn in your high schools, in your middle schools, elementary schools. We're teaching our history, you understand? And so now, we're going to get, you know what I'm saying, back into it. Last week, we started a little bit on these prepositions. We're going to continue with it. We're going to continue to do a little part 2 today. First things first, I always like to do a little bit of a review, so if I can make a tad bit of room, I'm just going to erase a few things. Okay? This is the Lashawan Qadash class. Lashawan Qadash, of course, means what?
The holy tongue.
The holy tongue. The set apart language. That's what holy means, to be set apart. Separate. This is the set apart language. I should have taken a picture of that. But that's no sweat. I'll leave this too. All right. So, so I'm gonna need your help. You describe.
Okay.
Just give me, for the sake of the class, if you could just give me just the Assyrian alphabet right here. Just the Assyrian alphabet. And we'll come back to it. We're going to use it today. We're not going to do the ancient so much. So just the Assyrian alphabet right here, if you can, Baba Kushab. So we can get a little bit of a review in understanding these letters, because now we want to see how these letters appear when we're reading, and understand what these prepositions, pronouns, these different grammatical things will look like on the page.
Right.
You understand? When we become more familiar with it, it'll help us read better. It'll help us, you can say enunciate, but pronounce things better. Okay? The black one was working.
The black one?
Yeah.
This one?
No. It's not up there. Is it bigger black one?
I'm gonna see blue and red. Is that it?
That might. No. It looks like that one. Let me see if it's up here on the side. So I can try this green one.
It'll be easier, better to see the green.
That works. Okay, both sides first. It's not working?
It's working.
Here we go. I don't know what the button. And don't forget, you keep going, but let's also remember, keep in mind those different ones, those certain letters. You can. Those certain letters that at the end of a word are going to appear to be different. You know what I'm saying? That is very important. You can get really, mixed up with that. So keep that in mind. And we're going to go over it in just a second. Now, I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but in the Isupk, we scholars in here. there's a reason why this is called the Assyrian, right? Because this was picked up during our time in captivity under the Assyrians. This is not originally how our language was written. This is not our original alphabet. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's similar because why? Why? Because it's old, right? And let's not forget the Tower of Babel was when what happened? What happened at the Tower of Babel? What did the Most High do to the Tower of Babel? Anybody? Please.
Yeah, he confused the languages.
Exactly. He confused the languages, right? Confused the languages. So everyone spoke one language at first, right? And then all of a sudden, they spoke different languages. You understand? But those languages were related. He confused them. So now when you saying one thing you saying, right? I may understand a certain sound, right? Or a certain aspect of what you're speaking. It's like think Spanish and like Italian, right? They're not the same language. They share certain things. They have things in common. They're not the same language. It's the same with our language. Our language is a Shemitic language. They call it Shemitic, right? There are other Shemitic languages, okay? So that region, what's called the Middle East, many of those languages share certain things. They don't share everything. We'll get that straight, right? They don't share everything, but there are certain aspects of the languages that overlap. Certain aspects, okay? That's important because when we're studying linguistics, we want to be identified how the language moved to become this, to look this way, to sound this way, right? That's how we know that Shalom is not Hebrew. That's how we know that, because we study. That's how we know that Shalom is not Hebrew. You having an issue with that marker?
Yeah, I'm having an issue with it. And slowly off.
No, sir.
And I need
I'm
some.
looking for the black. It was over.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the car down here.
What you gotta do, brother? Like I said, this is gonna be a short little review, and then we're gonna get into these pronouns, right? Basic building blocks of a sentence. Salakia. All right, guys. While you're still up there, we're gonna get started, right? So everybody, let's go. All together.
Not bad.
1, 2, 3. Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, kwa, ra, sha, ga. Most high in Beautiful. So just fix the thought just a little bit. Okay. It's the scribe right here, man.
Fix this right. Make it look. That's a little niche.
So we got ba, da. I would just not leave this little space. I'm saying kind of like one line, and boom, just come down.
Okay.
Ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka. You see, notice the brother, right? He put this right here to show you at the end of a word, that ka is going to look like this, right? Salaki, brother, you only mess up here a little bit. The law is the same no matter where it is.
Right. It's the nah.
Nah.
Right.
It's the nah that becomes like almost like a long question. Okay. right? And then the ma becomes like almost like a square, like kind of like a round squarish type deal. And it comes straight out. Boom.
Come.
Right? Ma, na, sa, I, pa. What's on the place? Tza, kwa, ra, sha. Now, so with that being said, we're going to get back into this pronoun preposition thing. Does anybody remember what we discussed last week? What was the difference between, now again, we call these prepositions because they fit, but technically speaking, right, this would still be considered a pronoun, right? Grammatically speaking. It's a preposition only in its function within the writing system, right? In is a preposition. On is a preposition. As or like is a preposition. To or for, of or from, those are prepositions, right? He is a pronoun, right? The is a definite article. That's what the is, right? It's a definite article. So, but in, that would be a preposition, but still they function the same, right? So we can call these, we did it before, we can call these prefixes. Because where do they go? If it's a prefix, where does it go?
In the front.
It attaches itself to the beginning of a word, as opposed to a suffix, which in Hebrew would be the determiners that go at the end of a word. If I want to say something belongs to you, I'm going to say the thing, and I'm going to attach a ka at the end. Your name, Shamka. You know what I'm saying? My name, Shamya. Right? That's how that works. And then it's also nawa, which is we, or our. But still, we were talking about this I, right? So today, we didn't do the tha last week much, but we're going to do it today. Right? And then we might get to a couple of other ones too. So everybody got this, right? We know the Assyrian. We know how to say it and pronounce it. So I'm going to actually do a little bit of work right here. But no, I want everybody to see what I'm doing. So I'll come back to this. We'll leave Anya. We just need one. We just need one Anya and one Atha. So like you for deleting your work so soon, Azar, but I just need space to water, brother.
Come.
Okay, so we got Anya, and we got Atha. We know that these are pronouns, right? Anya meaning I, and Atha meaning you. But now let's examine this. I explained the difference between an indirect object pronoun and a direct object pronoun. We talked about it last week, but now we're going to bring up a couple of more examples, right? So on your phones, let's get that blue letter Bible, right? Again, if you have a concordance, that's the better way to go about it, right? However, just for the sake of being able to see the words on the fly, that blue letter Bible is a good tool to have. There's other ones. I think Officer Hazarab got an app, you know what I'm saying, he talked about. I can't remember the name of it. I gotta find it. There's different apps and things like that, but this is a common one. All right. So we're gonna go to Blue Letter Bible, just a second here. And I want you to go to this one. Yeah, I use this one. This one as well. I think it might be. No, it's not. Let's use this one. Go to Genesis chapter 28 and verse 15. There's a specific phrase within it that we're going to focus on, but I'm going to read the whole thing. All right? And y'all, so when you get it, could you please read it for me, brother?
8 and 13.
8 and 15. Count. We're going to get a quick example of the use of a preposition. Then we're going to contrast it with how a pronoun would be used, right? And the difference. So you got that out?
Carnal.
Go ahead and read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 28, verse 15. And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. It's like jumped off. Come back.
It's wild, brother. Take your time. We're going to see two examples of the use of different pronouns. The indirect version, which we can call a preposition or a prefix, right? And then the direct one. So read it from the top again.
And behold, I am with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken.
Right, so who's talking here? Please.
The Most High.
This is the Most High talking, right? So now, let's break it down. Let's look at the English real quick one more time before we break it down in Hebrew. That was Genesis 20 and 15, right?
Come.
So if you go to Genesis, one second, slack here. Angels are standing upon it. Behold the Lord. So if you go to Genesis 20 and 13, it says, behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham, thy father, right? That's how we know the Most High is talking. But really, the Most High is speaking through one of his angels, of course, right? He sends his messengers, but they speak for him, right? So when the angel will say, I, but it's not saying I like me, the angel. You know what I'm saying? It's saying I as representative of the Most High. You understand?
Come.
So Genesis 20 and 15, read it from the top one more time.
And behold, I am with thee.
And behold, I am with thee. Right? So if you read it in Hebrew, right? If you click on tools, it'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see that Hebrew. It's a little blurry, but you should be able to see it, right? It says, Wahana, Anakia, Imakum, right? So it says, Wahana, Anakia. The Anakia here is the extended version of this word. Anya is a contraction, right? It's a useful contraction that is more common than Anakia, right? But you'll see sometimes it'll say Anakaya, Anakia, right? It means I. It's this pronoun, but they're the same word, right? This is just, an extended version of it that's not used as much, right? But check it out. If you go further down, it says Washamarathika, Bakol, Ashar, Balak, Washabathika, Ha'adamah, Haza'ath. And this is the part I really want. It says Kaya, right? Then it goes La'ah, Isupk, Slovakia. Right. It says La'ah, Isupk. The word Isupk, right? If you scroll down, you'll see that it means to leave. It means to leave or to depart from, to forsake. So I'll write it right here. Isupk. To leave or depart or forsake. So what's being said here? Knowing that, knowing what we know about the term, even though don't worry about this so much, but it's useful here. So we know that this is the root, right? We know that this is the root. Slavic. This is the root. Right here, my bad. Boom. This is the root. It says La'a Isupk. Read it in English from the top.
And behold, I am with you, with thee, and will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee.
For what?
I will not leave thee.
But I will not leave thee. This is leave. How is it saying I will not leave thee? That's what this means. This means I will not leave you. I will not leave you. How does it mean? What aspect of what is doing what? First, let's talk about this. What does that mean?
No.
La'a means hell no. Not happening. Right? This means no. No. And this means leave. What's this mean? And this ka? Thy, you.
Oh, you, right.
Right? To you.
No, I leave you.
Right. As in, no. Think of it as a whole thing. Right? No, I leave you. No, I won't leave you. I don't leave you. Don't leave you. I won't do it. La'a Isupk. No, I leave you. I won't do it, right? That's how that no functions. That's again why our language sounds barbaric. It's so direct. No. So whatever, if this says no, it means whatever this is not going to happen. You understand? Everything after, whatever's after the la'a, right, is what the Most High is saying is not going to take place. La'a Isupk. No, I leave you. I won't do it. Right? But notice the I here. You could eliminate it, really. Really, and it would still make sense. It's not the object. The I is not what's taking, is what the action is happening. Right? The action is really happening to you here. Right? You're the one being left. It's indirect. No, I won't. No, I won't leave. Right? It's indirect. And that's what we talked about last week. Now, let's look at the opposite example. Let's look at the opposite way in which I is used in Hebrew. We got that. That's indirect. That's when you're going to use the I prefix. So Salakia. You're with me now. Now go to, give me, let's see. Now give me Genesis chapter 17 and verse 4. Genesis chapter 17 and verse 4. We'll get two of those and then we'll jump to the next one.
Come on now. My phone keeps freezing up.
Let me see. And remember, We found out last week how we can easily find these words using these numbers, right? So if you're looking for Anya, you just type in H 589. That is the Strong's concordance entry. You know what I'm saying? That corresponds with Anya. Okay.
You said 17.
Count 17 and verse 4. Salakia.
Okay, I got it.
Most High in Christ. Go ahead and read it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 4. As for me.
As for who?
Me.
Go ahead.
As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee.
Right.
And thou shalt be a father of many nations.
Right. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Who's this talking about?
Abraham.
Right. This is when he got his name, right? His name changed from Abram to Abraham, okay? But look at the beginning of the sentence, right? When you click on tools, you look at the beginning of the sentence, right? Again, I know y'all can see it on Facebook, right? Salakia. Right, you see that word at the beginning? The ah, the na, and the ya, right? Same thing for the YouTube, right? The ah, the na, and the ya. Anya, Hanan, Baryathia, Africa, Wahanayayat. It's like Wahayayath, La'aba, Hamawan. Then it says Goayam, right? That first, the beginning of this sentence, I want to write it in, right? It's Salakia. Anya, Hanan, right? That's what we need right now. The sentence goes, as for me. That's why it told us, we said last week, right? If you look at the lexicon, it says used as an emphasis. It's saying, as for I. It's being very specific, right? That's the difference between the pronoun and the preposition in this sense in Hebrew. The preposition is not specific, right? Specifically I, you could almost eliminate it out of the sentence and it would still make sense, right? But more importantly, it's not focused solely on the fact that it's me. Anya is bringing attention to the fact that it's specifically me who's doing it, specifically me who's saying it, right? And not anyone else. That's why it's a direct object pronoun. Anya, Hanan, right? As for me, as for I, right? That's how that works. We can get another one. Salakia. Let's see. Let's go to give me one second. Give me Exodus 6 and 12. Here's another one. We know that I pronoun, right? You know what I'm saying, can mean I, me, same. But I is the more it's the English word that fits it better. It's the most used one in English, right? So we're gonna associate it there because that's how our minds are working. But it can mean me. So it's called first person singular. It just means that I'm directing the attention to myself. So give me Exodus 6 and 12.
My phone is all fucked up. It's going mad slow, it's freezing up. I don't know what the problem is.
You too are, brother. Take your time.
I'm trying to get back to home so I can make these moves quicker. No. Okay, my notes now. I'm gonna put them.
Exodus chapter 6 and verse 12.
Okay, I'll be there in a moment. Okay. Come on. I'm at 5. The phone's frozen.
Maybe you can reload it. If not, then I can just do it. It's not a problem.
It's like it's the phone. I'm trying to. Like,
No sweat. I got it.
It's fine.
You just write this down.
Doing this shit all day. I don't know what.
So lucky. All right. No sweat. So if you look at it then, Exodus chapter 6 and verse 12, it says, "And Moses spake before the Lord, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips?" Right? So now what's the story of Moses, right? We know that Moses had a speech impediment, right? So he felt that the children of Israel wouldn't go, like, he couldn't speak to the people. He doubted his ability to, like, how they gonna listen to me, man? Like, I can't talk like that. So he's doubting himself again, but it says in the Hebrew, right? It says, Wayir Debar, and he spake, right? To speak, Debar is to speak, right? Wayir Debar, it says, Masha, Moses, La Panya, Yahweh, La Amar, Han, Banya, Yasha'ala, La'ah, Shemaiwa, Alya, Wa'ayaka, Yashamayna, Islakia, Yashamayna, Para'ai, Irala, Shapathim, right? So this last part, it says right here, you see it. Right here it says, Para'ai, Wa'anya, Irala, Shapathim. So lock here for the Facebook. All right, I don't know if y'all can see it as well. It said, starting right here on this end. It says Para'ai, Wa'anya, Shapathim. Now what does that say? So we're gonna get rid of this. No, this one I just wrote. No sweat. Let's get rid of this. Right. So Para'ai is Pharaoh. Right? So here's the red one. This is Pharaoh. And again, now we're talking about Anya. We're talking about the emphasis, the emphasized version of the pronoun. Pharaoh, and it says Wa'anya. Wa'anya. We know that the Wa is what? Wa is end, and Anya is the I. Right? And I, right? Arala, right? That means uncircumcised, right? Uncircumcised, you know what I'm saying? And it says Shapathium, right? Shapah is lips, so it's lips, right? Circumcised lips. Again, This is distinct. Why is this different from this version when you say I? Why is the I here different from when we read before? I think it was Izar or something like that. What's the difference between that and this? What is Moses saying right here that makes it different? I'll read the scripture again. He's speaking of himself, but he's doing something when speaking of himself in this context. And Moses spake before the Lord, saying, behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me.
He's including something else.
How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? Did you catch it?
Yeah. He's including Pharaoh.
No. I mean, that's not why.
That's not why, right? Pharaoh.
Think about it. We just said it before. We just said it a second ago. What was Moses' issue here?
Talking to Pharaoh was his issue.
Right, but right now he's talking to the Most High.
Right.
What is he saying to the Most High about himself?
He's not a good speaker.
Who's not a good speaker?
Moses.
Right. He's saying, of all people, I can't do this. That's why he's saying, right? Parai wa anya, me, like specifically me. He won't listen to me. Maybe somebody else. It's not like a kind of fleeting I. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that like there's ways and ways that we saw before where the I can kind of be in passing. It's not directly receiving the action. It would not make sense without this anya. It wouldn't make sense. Because it's not just saying Pharaoh doesn't listen. You know what I'm saying? Pharaoh's not the focus of this sentence. It's Moses. Moses is the focus, and he's saying that I cannot do this. I have uncircumcised lips, or I have unrefined speech. That's what he's saying, right? My speech is unrefined. So that's why it's wa anya in use instead of just the I. You understand? And also, this is when the Most High says, "I am your God. I am the Lord thy God. There are no other gods before me." It literally couldn't be talking about anybody else. You understand? It's very specific. Now, that doesn't mean that every time anya is used, it's so direct, right? I mean, of course, we got the general anya shalomar, right? He's not the only person on Shamar holding guard, but it's specifically him. It's a pronoun to suggest I'm doing this job. You know what I'm saying? He's the center of attention on that action. The verb is attached to him. That's how it's conjugated. Okay? So now, that's that. Now we're going to see the same thing, and it should help us understand on both ways. Now we're going to go to thought. We didn't do this much last week. All right? Real quick, Shalakia. Shalakia. Okay. Give me. Give me Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14. Genesis chapter 3 and verse 14.
And the Lord, thy power, said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
You drop it there, right? So, again, let me see where is it at. Shalakia. Okay. There we go. So if you look, so it starts like this. It says Av, right? Our reward. That's the red, but it's not a problem. Reward. Our reward says a thought. Just like that. So, Waya Amar, Yahweh, Elohim, Hanakash, Kaya, Aishayath, Za'ath, a reward, a thought, right? So Waya Amar, and he said, Yahweh, I'm saying the Most High, Elohim, the powers, Hanakash, right, to the serpent, Kaya, right, to you, Aishayath, because you have, okay, so Kaya, Aishiyah, because you have done, right? Za'af, our reward is like cursing. It's like a curse. But we know that why in there. Our reward, curse, a thought. You. Curse you. It's specific to the serpent. It's not indirect. The serpent is the subject of
Of the curse, right?
He's the subject, exactly. He's the specific subject of the curse. Because thou hast done this, cursed are you. Right? He's the subject, the direct subject. Cursed are you. Curse you. And isn't that a coincidence, right? Because we say what? Yahweh Shem Shah. Barakatah. It's a direct to you, because I'm talking to you directly. Barakatah. Most High bless you. You understand? It's not in passing. You are the subject of the blessing I'm asking the Most High to bestow. And in this case, the Most High was telling the serpent, you are the subject of the curse. I'm putting the curse on you. You understand? Curse on you. Right? And now that's a thought. We can get another one. Let's get Salaki. Let's get where's it at? Salaki. Salaki, bear with me. Okay, so you can use this one too. Salaki. You know, use that one. That's right. Ezekiel, give me Ezekiel 34 and 31. This is a classic UPK scripture, right? This is a scripture that we know, lest you know.
Hey, shalom, Mom.
Next, you know what's lucky, brother? Give me this one. No, you too. Give me
what you need?
Give me Genesis 6 and 18. Yeah, give me Genesis 6 and 18.
I got it.
Come on, you gotta read from top.
But will thee, Salakia, but with thee will I establish a covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives,
Right.
with thee.
Right. So if you look at Genesis chapter 6 and verse 18, right, it says, Wa hakomathia atha, right? Af, Baryathia, Africa, Waba'af, Al, Hathaba, Atha, Wabunyaka, Wa'ashafka, Wanashia, Banyaka, Africa. Right? Banyaka is going to be what? Your sons. It's Bun, son, Yah is you. Right? Banyaka. Right? Yeah.
So what's my son?
Banya, myself.
Manya.
Right? My son.
My son.
My son. Right? Your son is Ka, is to say your. Right? But there's contractions. So you'll see Banyaka, and it means your son. It's really the Ka at the end. The Ka has to be at the end to say your. Right? But by itself, Banya will be my son. Or Akio, my brother. Right? Don't sweat. So now, if you look at Genesis chapter 6 verse 18, it says Al Ha the Ba Salakia Abba Atha. This is what I was talking about with that emphasis. Atha. Right? The Hathaba, right? The ark. Because it says what? But when I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, right? Thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons. So when it says Al, right? Ha-thaba, it's basically saying like onto the ark. And it says Atha wa Bunyaka and your sons, while Ashafaka and your son wives, right? Oh, sorry, and your wife. Ashafaka is your wife, right? And it says Wanashia, Bunyaka, and the wives of your sons, right? With you, Athika. But where it says Atha is where the emphasis is being given. If you read the sentence, it says, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife. He's making the point of saying, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and you're going to come into the ark. Yeah, you and your wives. He's focusing and specifically telling him, just you and your wife, and your wife, and your sons and their wives. It's very specified. It's a direct object pronoun. It's not passive, right? We're going to get the passive version right now. He's only talking to Noah.
So I can say that first word again. This one. Yeah, say that word.
Al,
Right?
And it says Ha-thaba. Ha-thaba. This means, so right here is another one being used for preposition. Ha is the. It's a definite article, right? What do you think thaba means? Thaba. A thaba.
UN.
It's its own word. So that's why you gotta, it's one of those things where you gotta keep looking at the concordance and seeing things and knowing what means what. This sentence, right? If we read the English again, what does the English say? But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark. Into the ark. You, and it says, and your sons, and so on and so forth. This is the, so like here. This is the, this is ark. The ark. Hathabah, Atha, then it says you and your sons. Now we're going to get, like I said, the indirect version of it. Where you say you, but it's not, it's about you, but it's not so much only about you. It's not specifying that it could only, you got your phone working. Go to Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16.
I got it.
You got it? Both sides of Christ. So go ahead and read the English, Yanzo.
And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. Verse 17.
No, just read that. That's too hard. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. So in the Hebrew it says, why is Allah, Yahweh, Elohim, Al, Ha'adam, La'amar, Makal, Itazah, Hagun, Akal, Tha'akal. Right. So what is this saying? Al, Adamah, the man, right? It says La'amar, right? Salakia. La'amar, Makal, eat, Itazah, Hagun. Let me go to it. Genesis chapter 2 and verse 16. Salakia, got it right here. Right, it says, saying, so it says, Itazah, the tree, Hagun of the garden. So Itazah Hagun is the tree in the garden, right? Then it says, Akal, Ta'akal. Akal means to eat, right? So it says, Akal, Ta'akal. Eat, you eat. It's saying that you are allowed to eat that. But the difference is that the thou here is, it's almost like, okay, if I'm explaining to Yanazar, right? I listen. So if you want to do such and such, or let's say you go to the store, or let's say you go out on a date. I'm saying the word you, but am I only talking about Yanazar? No. I'm using that pronoun to describe a person in a situation. I'm just coincidentally talking to you. Right? So this is the same thing. The Most High is talking to Adam. He's telling him what to do. But that word grammatically is not saying specifically only. Right. Why? Because his descendants also are going to have to follow the same orders. Ideally. Right? So that's when it's being used that way. It's saying you, but just like this I right here, right? This I or I am, the tha, right? Thou or thee, it's a little different than a tha because this is directly at you. It's only talking about you. It's a replacement. This is so I don't have to say Yanzar over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I'm writing a paragraph or I'm talking about you, to you, I would say a tha. I'm saying I'm only talking about you, but if I'm being general, if I'm just saying, well, when a person does this, and I'm using that word in that way, again, it's called an indirect object pronoun. That's when I'm going to use the thought, right? Generally, I'm talking to people. So let's get another example. Actually, in this next one, there's going to be two examples of the same thing. So now get me Genesis chapter 2, the next scripture, 2 and verse 17, and read that.
But of of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Thou shalt surely die. So there's a few thousand there again. And if we read it in the Hebrew, it says, Wa ma'itazah, hadaith, wara, slaki, warai, la'a, ta'akol, maman, slaki, mamnawa, kaya, bayawam, akolka, mamnawa, mawath, damawath. Right? So we go to a 2, go forward. Salakia. And if you look at it, it's saying of the tree, that's that wa ma itazah hada ith of knowledge, right? Of tawa was correct, all right. Warai, evil. Warai is lakia. Rai means evil. That's why we're saying the Rai, we're taking from all evil. La'a, ta'akol, again. La'a, ta, akol. What does that mean?
La'a is no.
Can't eat.
Right. No, you eat. No, you don't eat. This is literally how it works. But again, it's not, it's talking to a person, but it's not specifically saying you, Adam. This is not a replacement for Adam. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I said before, if I'm giving you directions or something and I'm saying you in there, but these are directions anybody else can take as well. I'm just happen to be talking to you. And when Moses was talking, no one else could have been using that sentence. No one else. When the Most High says, I am the Lord thy God, could he be talking about anybody else? No, it's just him. But when it says, La'ah, ta'akol, you know what I'm saying? It's talking.
General. It's like a general.
It's a general version of it. And we're going to see it again in this sentence. Then it says, Mam nawab, kaya, bayawam, for the day, or in the day, right? So then it says, right, so if you look further in it, you'll see this. You'll see ba, your one, right? So like here. By your one, what does this word mean?
One.
What does your one mean?
That day?
It means day. Also in Christ. Your one means day. So what does by your one mean?
In that day.
Right. In that day. Right? Just another one of these prepositions. By is in or on. So it's on that day or in that day. It says by your one, a kalka, right? In the day, a kalka now is using the determiner, right? For the ka and for your, thy, in the day, eatest you, or eaten of you. See, and that's another thing you got to keep in mind. We're using these prepositions and pronouns, but the way the language works, even with English, like sometimes I can say my coat, or I can say the coat of mine, or the coat belongs to me. It's the same thing. So I could say, da a call, you eat, or I can say a call cup, eaten of you, or eaten by you, right? Because that's what it says in this part right here. It says by your one in the day, a kalka is eaten of you, right? Then it says, Mam nawa mawath da mawath. What does anybody know what it means?
To die?
It means to die. So
Yes.
this is both sides right. Well, it's in the English.
Yeah.
It says that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And so it says, Moav thought Moav, die, you will die. But if anybody does it, they're gonna die. It's like if I say, man, if you keep eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you're gonna die. Am I only talking about Saddam? I'm only talking about Yazar? No. I'm saying any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. I use the word you. You is a second person pronoun. It literally is used to describe me talking to one other person. Not even a group of people. Most of the time. Now we have you can say you to a group. We have that. Or conduct yourself this way. Please.
Y'all shouldn't do this.
Y'all should not do this.
Right.
You, right? As in y'all. Don't do the damn thing. Okay? So now, lock in. Now, make it. All right. So now, let's see. Are we good here? Like, are we understanding how most of these work? We need a couple more examples. Matter of fact, obviously.
I'm beginning to understand.
Okay. No sweat.
I'm beginning to understand how they
All right. It'll start to make more sense when you start reading it consistently for the Sabbath service and things like that, and you see how the English words, and also just understanding that they don't always overlap perfectly. You see it in English, and you're thinking, oh well. In the English, it may say, "I am with thee," but when you read the Hebrew, it's not really saying, "I am with thee." It might be
with
saying,
thee, I am.
Right, with you, I am, or something like that. Our language is stripped down to where it's not going to match up all the time perfectly, right? But it's still beneficial to see how these things work. So now, let's see something. Let's go to, Slovakia. Give me is it me or is it Tom?
Just you do have the best hand long sleeves.
This is true.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of warm here though.
I mean, it's warm, yeah, but it ain't
hot.
dumb hot.
No.
All right, so now let's take a break from the prepositions, terminals. Yazar, I need you again, my brother. After this, we're going to get into another section, but first we'll do a quick review as well. We did the Assyrian earlier, so now hit me up with some of that ancient. Let's see how fast you can do it. Because you by now, I know that's your favorite thing in the world.
Got that right.
Wouldn't it be so wonderful if we could see this, you know what I'm saying, in the Tanakh? Again, it exists, but hard to find. But no, we have to go with the Assyrian, but still, we want to make sure that we're up to date on seeing these things, how they would work in that situation as well. What's not in Christ? Sadat, you brushed up on that evening? Okay, well you think you can hit with them letters straight through?
I have not been practicing it.
No sweat. Well, get you. We got any more of the papers? We got to get on it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Got to do it. You know what I mean? I understand. I know We got a lot of things we'll be studying, making sure that the camp speakers is on point, classes and everything. But just, just try to take a little time out of the day. You don't gotta do it for long. You know what I'm saying? Quick little 10-minute, just breeze over the alphabet, remind yourself of it. You know what I mean? Go in the Blue Letter Bible and just look at the scripture. Just look at one scripture, one little short scripture, start from Genesis. And just imagine in your head how you would read it. You understand?
Okay.
And then that'll help.
When I'm looking at it in the Blue Letter Bible, like with all these different dots and the way they
You can get rid of the dots. There should be a thing that says, actually, you know what? Let me pull it up.
No, it's not getting rid of it.
Click on Tools.
Hold on. Yeah, I was into it. So that's my spot.
You don't see a little like tab that says like something about vowel points or something?
All right.
It's a lot.
Oh, you got the app. No.
I know that it got rid of it. Seeing it, I'm looking at it and reading. I'm trying to read it because I can't read it. It just looks so different.
You just gotta have to ignore it. I'm saying them dots don't mean-
And that's my thing.
But it means something to the so-called Jewish man, the fake Israelites.
Yeah.
The fake Israelites, it means everything in the world. Because they go and say shalom.
Little line that's not connected.
There's no connectors in the Syrian anyway, so it's just a bunch of dots. No sweat. You're gonna get it. All right, Alfred, let's go. We're gonna do it together, all in together now, right? 1, 2, 3. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, na, I, sa, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, fa. So lock your brother, you got it backwards.
Yeah, I do.
No. Yeah, you do. The sock is before the eyes. No sweat. Okay. Just tighten up that side just a little bit, Polish.
The side?
Yeah. You just erase the eye. Yeah, those lines should be, those crosses just should be a little bit closer.
Okay, come.
Like, okay. Those sound nice. Okay. All right, from the top again. 1, 2, 3.
Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, fa.
Okay, guys, so I'm running through.
Abaga, abagada, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, I, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, fa.
Give him a hand. So that, just take your time, brother. Let me hear that.
A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sai, a, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, tha.
Most on Christ. Mahaya. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha. Most High in Christ. You know that. You know that. All right. So you know these letters real well. We don't got connectors on those letters. Don't sweat. But now, let's see. We're going to my little bag of tricks.
Here.
I'll say that for later. Okay, so like, you know what it is real quick? So then we do some of these verbs. Here. So as long as I can find it, it's a lock here.
It's a lot.
I'm too out, brother. Too out. Just bear with me. I'm just looking for this. Where's my phone? Where is it? Okay.
It's like,
Come on.
if you could, you gotta go into some, could you show like a quick way to just like chop up that shalom shit real quick?
Oh, absolutely,
Like
brother.
got this up there.
Oh, brother, please. My favorite topic. I mean, I gotta oblige my brothers. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna ask me to do that, then I absolutely will do so.
Let me record that.
Yeah.
I want to send
Where-
that some shalawamas.
Where is my wrist? Talking, brother. The wrist.
Oh, so like,
No, you talk.
oh, yeah.
Talk. All right. This wasn't the next thing I was gonna do. I was gonna do some conjugating of some verbs, but that's no sweat. This is equally important, and so we'll get into it. So first things first. Before we even do any go into any detail of like what they're doing to the words, let's just go to the scriptures real fast. Salaki. Let me find the one on that.
They wouldn't be running it together, would they?
What you mean?
Like the shala, the pronunciation of each individual syllable, like they're running it together and like making their own word or something?
Not quite. Not quite. What they're doing is they're taking
They're Europeanized.
essentially that's what they're doing. First things first. If you go to Strong's 7965 in the Blue Letter Bible, right? You'll see a word that has a sha, a la, a wa, and a ma, right? And if you don't know, when you're reading that Hebrew on for the Sabbath service, again, brothers will make a mistake. It's your first time reading it, or if you're just not familiar with seeing it, you'll see sha, la, wa, and ma, and you'll go da da da, or shalom. And of course, the double ones will be like, brother, what'd you just say? You know what I'm saying? But it's no sweat. But if you look at it and you go to it and you look at the root word etymology, it literally says right here, root word from shalom. Shalom. Sha, la, and ma.
Right.
This is documented. Shalom. That is the word. That is the root word. Here's the problem. So, Sha, I'm writing it in the ancient, right? We write it in the Assyrian too. Right? Like that. The reason why this is here, it doesn't even really belong.
Yeah, what is that doing?
Understand something. Understand that by the time the translation of the scriptures took place and everything, there were things that were put in there, or certain ways of phrasing. Remember, this is Assyrian. This came during the Assyrian captivity. Our language was getting filtered and filtered and filtered and filtered to now you have what? What do they speak now?
Yiddish.
Yiddish. A person who speaks Yiddish will tell you that they speak Hebrew. The people, the people in my neighborhood I grew up in, they think they speak Hebrew. It says shalom, 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 shalom. That's how they talk. That's how they talk. But they'll swear but now they speak in Hebrew. So some of these things have already, by the time the translation took place, was already put in there. It was already slapped on our words. Why did they put this here? This is the key. So we're gonna chop two things at once. First things first, before we get to Shalom, who can tell me why they put this here? Okay, no sweat. What letter is this?
The Wa.
This is a Wa, correct? A Wa, right? We're just writing it phonetically. Wa. Without going into too much detail, there's a thing called matrix lectionis. It means mother tongue in Latin. Matrix lectionis is a grammatical or linguistic system, right? It's a system within a language where a consonant can be used as a vowel or is changed to a vowel depending on where it is in the word. So an example would be, right? So what they'll do is they'll take a Y, and you'll even see fake Israelites say this. They'll say if the Y is at the beginning of a word, then it's a Y. But if it's in the middle of a word or at the end of a word, it turns into, they'll say, it turns into this sound. Oh. It becomes an O sound.
Wow.
It's changing into it's going from a W, which is a consonant sound, a consonantal sound, to a vowel sound. They do the same thing with the Ya. I'll show you. What is this word? What is this word? I'm gonna write it in the for the sake, no, I'll write it in the Assyrian just so y'all can see how they do, right? What's that word?
Yasharala.
Yasha'al. Has anyone ever seen something like this?
Hell yeah.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
That comes from them taking this Ya and saying that the Ya sometimes is actually an I sound.
That's what I got. Yeah.
Right. So they'll combine the two and say Yisrael. Right? They're taking a consonantal sound and saying, well, sometimes it's a consonant, sometimes it's a vowel sound. That's what happened with the Wa here. So they're saying that the Wa becomes a O. Well, guess what? If you take Sha, La, and Ma and change this from a Wa and stick an O sound in it as a vowel, what do you get? You're going to get a Sha, you're going to get a La, O, and the M. And this is going to get canceled out because it's connected. So you're going to get
Shalom.
That's why they say that's like the onus. Even scholars will tell you that this is something that was invented maybe like 1,500 years ago, something like that, 2,000 tops. Like this is some new invention that they decided to stick into our language.
That's Latin.
Right. This is a Latin phrase, but they're saying that older languages had it. Even now, Arabic has it. I mean, there's a few languages where a letter that represents a consonant, all of our letters in Hebrew are consonant sounds. They're not vowels. The vowels in our language are unambiguous. They're just automatic. Go ahead.
Greek came, before Latin, right? Did Greek come before Latin?
I would say yes, but don't quote me on it.
Okay.
Yeah, don't quote me on that.
Come.
I believe so. But the point is, right, that they're saying that this aspect, right, all of our letters represent vowels. Represent consonants. That's why we never have to. None of them represent vowels. But in the English language, you have what? A, right? And A can be a consonant at times. This is always a vowel, always a vowel, always a value, always a vowel, always a vowel, and then Y sometimes vowel, because you can have certain words where it's not a vowel, like in the word year, right? So that's what they did. But that's garbage. There is no O in Hebrew. The Y does not become an O. A Y is a Y. How do I know? There's a few ways I know, right? The one way that I know is this. Somebody tell me what that is.
Dawada.
Dawada, correct? What letter is that in the middle?
The what?
Okay, is it at the beginning of the word?
In the middle.
It's in the middle of the word. So according to this, people who say that this is how our language works, what should this say?
Da-o-da.
It should just say do.
Do, yeah. Do.
That's what it would say.
Do.
Well, yeah, because it's connected. It's not.
What's connected?
No, I'm saying in the way they read it, shalom, this would be do. But even if it wasn't, da-oda.
Yeah. Do. Damn.
Da-oda.
Da-o-da.
Or da-od.
Da-ood. That's what the Arabs did with it.
Has anybody ever seen it like this? Da-od.
It's similar. I haven't seen it exactly like that, but it's similar. Like the Arabs, they call them Daoud.
Da-od, right?
Yeah.
So
Of course.
and the A dropped off.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, on this I'm saying it doesn't matter whether it's da-od, da-oda, whatever.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous because we know that even the English scholars transliterated his name as what? As David. And the V sound, even if you look now, the fake Jews, the so-called Jewish man, he calls this letter the Y, he calls it
The fa.
the Va. Or Vav. That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
But he knows that it comes from this. That's why it's King David. If you listen to one of them over there say it, they don't say David. You know what they say? They'll pronounce it like this.
The wa.
Dawid.
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 The weed.
Understand what I'm saying? Because the I is not how it runs in English in their language. They're saying Dawid, like Dawid, but it comes from the Wa sound. That's why it looks like this. It's a Wa. It's not an O. You understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, that's what it would look like. But it looks like that because it comes from da, wa, da. The wa is at the beginning of the word, but it still does not represent an O sound. It's not an O, it's a wa. Okay? So that's why they say that fake Jews want to say shalom. That is incorrect. It is shalom. All right, Matrix Lectionis is garbage that was not in our language. Right? It does not apply whatsoever. That's for them. Now to the fake Israelites, the Shalawans. Who can guess, based on what we just talked about, how a fake Israelite will come to the conclusion that this is Shalom?
He must have studied with the white man.
Not exactly.
Exactly. I don't even understand. Still don't understand how that walk got in there. I still don't understand.
Well, there's ways in which a wa, we talked about it before, right? Anya Shawamar. We talked about his name before. What does Anya Shawamar mean?
I am guarding.
I am guarding. But what does Shawamar? What word is that? Shawamar.
Guarding.
Is it? Well, where does it come from?
Peace from shalom.
What is Mayar doing right now?
Shalom.
He's on Shamar. But now there's a Y in it. Shawamar. There are times and ways in which other letters can be put into a word to change its tense, right? That can happen. But in the case of this, that's not what happened. This is only in there because they want to say shalom. They wanted to put matrix lectionis in our language and use this to mean O.
I don't want
Please.
Salakia, but I don't understand how a fake Israelite group could incorporate it. Why would they do that?
I'll tell you how. Because they don't have the spirit of discernment and they don't study enough to know better. They simply look at the Tanakh. Because if you look in there, you're going to see this. You're going to see Shah, La, Allah, and Allah. And the reason why that's there, I'll show it. A lot of times, right? You look at these things, and you look at who is Society for the Student in Hebrew Scriptures. A lot of times, this is their stuff that they're publishing that has, right? Well, it has the Y in there. It even has, sometimes you'll see, it has the vowel points. You see?
So they
The
say
same thing you just talked about.
Okay.
It has it. Because they're the ones printing it and they are speaking Yiddish and want to say
Shalom.
right?
Shalom.
Right, that's what they want to say. But that's not the actual word that's being said. Now, as far as the fake Israelites,
They're studying it
and why?
from them.
Exactly. They're only accessing that and seeing it, and then looking at it and assuming, oh, okay, so they're saying to themselves, oh, they speaking Yiddish. Them fake Jews, man, they don't know what they're talking about.
We're saying Shalom.
Yeah, they saying shalom. Ain't no O in Hebrew. So why? Shalom. I'm not being funny, bro. Like, they think that they're outsmarting them. Like, oh, y'all made a mistake. Y'all thought that the Y was an O. Nah. They think, oh no, this is Lashawan. That's a Y. That's a Shah, Allah, a Y, a Ma. It's Shalom. But in the UPK, we know better than that. We know better than that. We know that this was not originally there. And that's why it says from Shalom. That's the original word. Shalom. That's what it is. And in fact, Salaki, where's my phone? I'll show you something else. Real quick, Salaki. Go back to this word. Let me see. There's a part that I want to. I thought I had it. This looks right. Where is it? Encourage, no, Salaki, bear with me.
How do you get to the the tools? See, that's what I keep
It
saying.
should be right next to it.
Mm-hmm. Should say tools.
Mm-hmm.
You on the .com? Oh, you got the app. Yeah. I'm on the .com. I don't let me see. And I don't know that. Go to the .com. BlueLetterBible.org rather. I'm with you on one.
Go ahead.
No, y'all too long. I'm just looking at a certain part.
Bible.org.
Okay. That's right. Well, I couldn't find the part. But here's what we'll do. One way I always like to show it. Pause. Go to 2 Samuel chapter 5 and verse 14.
See 5 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
This is better.
That way, and you, Yazar, you give me you give me. Now you don't gotta give me scripture. Just about read the one you got.
Come concept.
There we go.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 5, and verse 14. And these be the names of those that were born unto him in Jerusalem. Shamuma, Shamuma,
Shamua.
and Shabab,
Mm-hmm.
and Nathan,
Uh-huh.
and Solomon.
Who can guess what Solomon's name means? Go ahead.
Peace.
It means peaceful. Who can guess how Solomon's Hebrew name is spelled and pronounced? It's Shalomah. Shalomah. There's a ha added to the end. It's Shalomah, but it's not Shalom. I'll give you another one. There's one more for the proof. Yeah, so I want you to get this one for me. You give me Psalms 137. Nah, I want the mother. What's the one mother of us all? Galatians 4:26. This is in the New Testament.
I got it.
Go ahead and read that. Just because I want that word. Everyone knows that word.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 26. And Jerusalem,
What?
and Jerusalem,
Go ahead.
which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Which is the mother of us all. Jerusalem, right? The holy city, right?
God.
Jerusalem, who can guess what word is in the word Jerusalem?
Jew.
Peace.
Peace, right? I believe it means teaching of peace, or something to that effect. If you read it, it's a dual, and allusions to two main hills, that of Yarah right? Probably from the past particle Yarah and Shalom. The word is Shalom. Jerusalem, right, would be pronounced I think it's Yarah Shalom, or Yarah. No, that's not right. Yarah Shalom. The point being is the root word of it is Shalom. It's not Shalom. Otherwise, we would be saying Jerusalem or something like that, but we don't. It's Jerusalem, right? That's where it comes from. That's why it was translated or transliterated in that way, right? It comes from Shalom. You can even look at other languages. I hate to do it, but if you were to look at, say, another closely related, not the same language, like Arabic, how do you say peace in Arabic?
Shalom. Salam.
It's salam, right? Again, not saying Arabic is Hebrew because the damn sure is not. It's not, right? It only shares certain phonemes or aspects of grammar.
Root phonetics.
Root phonetics. And sometimes they'll even say that Arabic contains more original Hebrew phonemes or phonemes than other languages like today's Yiddish, right? But if you in Arabic, that's why they say what? As-salam, right? Salam means peace, just shalom. That's where it comes from. Salam in Arabic comes from shalom. If it was shalom, then in Arabic it wouldn't be what it is. It would be Salomon or some garbage, or whatever. Right. The original Hebrew word is simply
Shalom.
Shalom. So, is that good on that, like y'all?
Yeah.
I'm a matter of fact, I might do a whole class on it, because there's a lot to it. Because don't get it. Yeah, there's a lot to it. Because even this matrix, the Y isn't the only letter that they do that with, and Shalom isn't the only word that they mess with. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, whenever you look at a Hebrew word and you think, and someone throws an O in there, or an I in there, or an U in there, or something like that, it's because they're seeing letters like, it's usually a Y and a Ya. Whenever they see a Y, and it's not at the beginning, they want to turn it to this, or this, right? Whenever they see, what's the one they do for E? So it'd be, so the Y, the Ya. This one they want to turn into like a I, right? This one they want to turn into an O or a U, and this one they want to turn into an E. So look, if I write this word, this is disgusting.
So they're adding vowels to it.
They're adding vowels and taking stuff away and trying to make please.
Because I've even seen shalom with an E at the end of it. I've seen that. You know,
These people don't even know what to do. I'm telling you, they want to be
that's
so
a
bad.
different word or something.
Brother, okay, I'm gonna write this word on the board. Common word. We use it all the time. We know a brother with this name, right? Don't shout it out yet because there's a reason. I'm writing the Syrian. How did I get to that? Oh, I'm blanking. Funny looking. Yeah. Okay. Oh, but it's at the end of the. So it's. Yep. Now, what is that word?
Arataza,
Which means what?
the earth.
Earth or land. This is how they write. If you were to look at that fact, don't take my word for it. And my man said read the rainbow. Don't take my word for it. This is how, oh gosh. This is how they render it. That's what they put. Arets.
I've seen that too.
What's that supposed to mean? Earth?
That's Yiddish.
Whatever it is not Hebrew. But that's how they put it. Arets. They're saying that the Ah is becoming this
E.
thing. The Ra still. It's saying that the Ra, because it has because it's a certain vowel point. If we go all the way, man, this is disgusting, man. They got this crap.
Yep. Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Right? So because of this, see this and this, because of this, it becomes an E. Because of this, it's still a Ra, but it becomes a Re. And then this to them is not Tazah, it's Tz. Every time you see a Tazah in the scriptures, the Yiddish man, the fake Jewish man, he doesn't say Tazah. He says Tz.
So pronounce it how the Yiddish.
It would be like Etz. You gotta make that face when you do it too. Etz. Disgusting. It sounds, I'm telling you, bro, I grew up around these cats. Went to high school with them. It sounds filthy.
Yeah, it looks nasty.
Etz. Right? That's how they say it. It sounds so much less masculine and, and hardcore, like the Most High, so much less than a Ratazah. You know what I'm saying? It's.
I'm gonna need you to stop that.
I'm pausing the same. That's how they say it.
Yeah,
That's what they do. So those letters, they done hijacked. You know what I'm saying? And make it look like all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Filth. I mean, damn, like, let me see something. So now, what's the name of the name?
My name is Sadat.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What's the
What
meaning?
does it mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it means out of the thicket, or it was either it's out of the thicket or out of the jungle.
Okay. So let's see what we can find. We're gonna do what we did before, right? Let's try H 5000. We know Sa is right in the middle, right? Side's right in the middle. So this is nah.
H5000.
No, yeah. But no, we're gonna go further. That's a nah. We need to get to the side. Let's go H. Maybe we'll get lucky. H 5500. Oh, see what I mean? There it is. You see, they actually render the words that begin with a sound with a C. Right. So let's we need some dots. That's the cut. So we gotta go backwards. So let's go H 5400. H 5400. No. H 4500. I'm sorry. H 5450. 5450. Let's try that. Now we got S Sabalah. Right? You're looking for Sadat. So that's a Bob, we gotta go a little bit further.
Sabalah. They got Sabalah in the Yiddish.
Right, they no sweat. So you go back. So H, let's try it. H 5460. Let's see. Sagun. So you gotta go a little bit forward. Let's try H 5462. Still cigar. All right, let's try H 5465. Okay, Sod. Okay.